So hello YouTube and welcome to another video. In this week's video I am doing a tag. I haven't done a tag for a while, but it was basically in my notepad from 2019, so I figured I'd just give it a go. It's called the throwback tag, which basically is going to delve me back into my childhood, and I've got to try and remember not only some of my childhood but also answer some of the questions. So the first question is what year was I born? I was born in 1996. I'm a Taurus and they're commonly known for being stubborn. That's about all I know really. Number two, do you have any pictures of yourself when you were younger? If you do, then show them. I have a massive array of photos of myself when I was younger. I will put up some of my personal favourites, which I've now got to try and remember why I looked the way I did. I don't know what I'm going to put up. It's a surprise to you as it is to me. Most of my photos though, I don't really have as many of when I was like really little, because most of those my mum has in like a photo album, but I will put up an array of embarrassing photos of me when I was young, and you can all laugh at them together if you wish. What TV shows did you watch growing up? Now, I watched a variety of shows growing up. I've actually written them down because there was such a variety of shows that I used to watch that I figured it would be better if I just wrote them all down. Most of these were on the Cartoon Network, CBeebies and Nickelodeon, and then there is a couple that are I don't know, they might have been BBC, they might have been something else, they're a bit more variety. Cartoon Network, I've got Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones. Now obviously they are a vast majority of different shows I may have watched, however those were primarily the most, especially Looney Tunes. I used to watch so much Looney Tunes, it was unreal. CBeebies, I've got the Tweenies, Rubber Dubbers, Teletubbies, Balamori, Bill and Ben, The Shiny Show, Big Cook, Little Cook, Bob the Builder, 64 Zoo Lane, Clifford the Big Red Dog, Come Outside, and a personal favourite, Lazy Town. I think out of all of those, again, Lazy Town and Balamori I think were the top ones. Basically just towns. I think I really enjoyed towns, especially ones with colourful houses and a guy who does acrobatic skills of backflips and God knows what else. Nickelodeon, we've got The Backyardigans, iCarly, Fairly Odd Parents, Rugrats, Dora the Explorer, Drake and Josh, Blue's Clues, Keenan and Kel, and Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Now I think out of all of those, the ones I watched the most were probably Drake and Josh and Ned's Declassified. Again, Ned's Declassified was about being at school and trying to survive school, and Drake and Josh, they were just honestly just two idiots who were just trying to survive life, I think, more than anything else. Some of these I think were way before my time, and then others I think, I don't even know what channels they were on. Thomas and Friends, or Thomas the Tank Engine. Trolls, I love Trolls. Literally, I collected I think 4 out of 5 of the dolls, and also I had there was the online server. I was obsessed with playing that, it was really good. Bagpuss, Clangers, and my personal favourite, the Flumps. I don't know what they were. I believe they might have been potatoes. They were great. They didn't even speak from recollection. They just walked around making noises. What did I want to do when I was younger, and do I still want to do that? Now, here I have my Year 6 draft book. This is old, by the way. This is old. Look how vintage. Look at that drawing. I should do a whole video just on this. One day I might be a writer or a bookshop owner. Now I can tell you that right now, I have never wanted to be a writer or a bookshop owner. Again, one of my hyperfixations when I was younger was rainbow magic books. I'll put a few photos or footage or whatever I find. And I believe because I liked that, maybe that was my aspiration, but I am a terrible writer and I also don't read anymore, so why I would want to be a bookshop owner is beyond me. Show yourself on a video from when you were younger. I'll be honest, I'll probably just take something from the archives of this YouTube channel, because a lot of the videos I made when I was younger was mainly in secondary school. So I've got lots of footage to pick from of me when I was younger, because I was a bit of an idiot. But also, I feel like I was quite glad that I actually recorded what I did, because otherwise I wouldn't have anything recorded of me when I was younger. So I think whilst my friends didn't really enjoy it at the time, it's kind of good that I have these clips now to look back on all of us. What were your favourite toys to play with? This one's a bit difficult because I struggle to remember elements of my childhood. Specifically, I don't really remember playing with many toys. I obviously played a lot with my toys because I was a single child. However, I feel like I don't remember it very well. There is one thing I do remember though, is I quite liked Bratz compared to Barbie, and I had the Bratz Rock Angels car, which you could turn the lights on manually, and you could also change the radio station. So I used to put it onto classical, put all the dolls in their outfits, and then just drive them around my room, because there was no venue for them to go to, because we had no venue for them to go to. So they would just drive in circles listening to, I don't know, Mozart or whatever was playing on the classical radio at the time. What's the most embarrassing thing you remember doing? Now, this one's a bit difficult because, again, elements of my childhood, I don't really remember them very well. However, I probably did a lot of embarrassing things. I think whilst I answer these questions, I might remember some things. However, memories of things that I did. I remember before cross country, I decided when it was raining to try and jump over a giant puddle in front of everyone. Everyone was watching me at the time, and I did like a massive run-up sprint, slipped on like the inner part of the puddle, dived into said puddle, fully submerged, because that's how deep this puddle was, came out the other side. I only had a graze on my knee, but I was soaked from head to toe, and then I had to run cross country. So that was embarrassing. People pulled me off my chair a few times in English and ICT. That was probably quite embarrassing. Once my media teacher asked me to analyse a shoe with no context whatsoever. She just said, analyse this shoe. And I decided to say, I can see the front of it, but not the back of it. And she just looked at me like, what the fuck does that even mean? And I looked back at her like, I don't fucking know, you put me on the spot. I don't fucking know. I panicked. Read something that you wrote in kindergarten. Now, I don't have something that particularly was in kindergarten, but again, I will resort back to my year 6 book. And I have a diary from Monday the 16th of October 2006. Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm going to write about myself with lots of information. The first thing I can remember in the past was when I was a baby and I was annoying my cat called Hedges under the Christmas tree, and she lashed out and her claws scratched me, and a couple of years later she bit my hair and her teeth dug into my scalp. It really hurt. I just remembered my first word when I was a baby. I just remembered, so I made sure to write that down. I just remembered my first word when I was a baby. It was bass. The reason was my first word was bass was because when we were going past a beer shop, I shouted bass. So apparently I knew what alcohol was. I was only very young though, and I can't wait until the end of the day because I'm going up to the co-op to get more Pokemon tags. I don't even remember owning Pokemon tags, but apparently it was ripe in the year of 2006. Next Friday, I'm going swimming again. I'm very excited. Today, I can't wait till lunch because I didn't really have much to eat in the morning. I'm very hungry. A very long time ago, I went to London. It was really fun. I also got a toy snake. I love it so much. I can't wait to go back. These are very short sentences. I've not been on a holiday anywhere else because sometimes my mum and me argue. My dad always gets cross with me and my mum. Oh dear Lord. Okay, anyway. Well, got to go now because I think I've done a bit too much. Bye. And then I drew a photo. I drew my cat of 20 years old. As you can see, my cat doesn't look very well. The funniest thing is this was marked by a different student who put, make your handwriting needed, I can't read it. And the teacher put, I agree. I'll have you know, teacher, or whoever you are, my handwriting has not gotten better since then. 3 songs you loved to listen to as a child. Again, this is quite an interesting one because I remember I used to listen to different music. I was very much into just anything really at the time. The one thing I do remember, the one song I remember, and bearing in mind I was definitely probably between the ages of 4 to 6 years old. It was Voulez-vous coucher avec toi ce soir? I can't remember the name of the song. The song was Lady Marmalade, which theoretically was a part of Moulin Rouge. Christina Aguilera, Lil' Kim, Maya and Pink. And I used to listen to it on repeat. And if you've seen that video, I don't think the age that I should have been listening to that at all. But I was. Are there any special things you've kept from when you were a kid? Hold that please, caller. You might remember the Andrex puppy. If anyone does know what Andrex puppy is or knows what Andrex the toilet roll is at all, I may have developed a mild obsession, and I have the Andrex puppy. Look how dishevelled he looks. He used to have hair. He looks so manky, I'm not gonna lie. He's not dirty, it's just a bit dusty, to be honest. He's a bit of a dusty boy. But yeah, I really liked the Andrex puppy, and I got loads of them, but specifically for some reason I really liked this one. And he just vibes now in the corner. He just sits there. But I have had this probably definitely over 20 years. This dog is definitely over 20 years old. And look at the state of him. You can, even his eyes are like got scratches on them where he's so mangled. But he is puppy, and he's just a baby. What's the scariest thing you can remember that's happened to you when you were younger? Oh, life in general. I think life is a very scary journey. Growing up is pretty scary, because I think when you're a kid, you don't realise like how carefree you are, and how, you know, you don't have any worries really. Like the things you deem as worries are nothing compared to when you're being an adult. So that's quite scary. But in terms of scary things that have happened, I've never, for example, this person said they cracked the head open. I've never had like any sort of injury like that. I've never broken a bone. I've never damaged myself to that extent. I've sprained my hand playing volleyball, but that's not exactly scary. How is the world now different from how it was when you were a child? I would say the world we live in now is very different. I think technology obviously is an obvious one. I was still around when we had dial-up internet and cassette tapes and CDs and videos. So in terms of technology and how that's developed, obviously that's a big one. But I would just say the world that we live in now is a very different place. It's a less safe place. It's not as nice as it used to be. I mean, it's never been particularly nice for everyone all of the time, but I definitely feel like we are not in a good place on planet Earth at the minute. But let's just say light-hearted technology. That probably covers it, to be honest. So I hope you liked that video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up and leave in the comments any other videos you'd like me to make, and I shall see you later, YouTube. Bye!